Welcome to GPS PeakCast. Today we are diving into a topic that is on everyone's mind, prospect profiling. Today we have a guest on the show, Mr. Marshal Onoja, also known as BigMarsh Properties. Hi, Mr. Marshal.
Hi, Miss Emem. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Good to have you here. So, people think that profiling is about judging people, but for me, I see it as clarity, knowing the people that are for you and those that are not for you. Because to be honest, every business has its ideal people, has its target audience, target market. So I want you to tell us: have you ever had an experience where you were following up on someone? You were thinking, oh, I found a prospect, I found someone that can buy what I sell. And at the end of the day, you found out that you were just chasing shadows, like it was just vibes and nothing more. Tell us about it.
Well, this experience is something that I want to believe that every realtor out there would relate to. Now, when I started, mine was, as a young starter, I was very excited to sell because, I've seen people selling and then living large. I'm like, okay, yes, I want to just do this thing and be fine. So I posted something on Instagram, right? And then it was a 5-bedroom, fully detached duplex at Apo at that time. And then it was going for 120 million. So then this man called Emeka, wrote to me, just inboxed me and then said that I am interested. Then I didn't do anything again. I was so excited because for somebody to come and tell you, I haven't posted something and the person is coming back to tell you that he or she is interested, that's like a game changer for a newbie like me. And I was like, okay, I was excited, I was preparing, and then we booked for site inspection. And then I went ahead to tell my boss that I've seen somebody that is interested.
Shop person.
Exactly. That wants to buy you. I printed brochure, printed so many things that would make him want to really buy, to inform him. Weeks later, we went for inspection because he was not around at that time. So he came back and then went for inspection. On getting to site, he saw what was going on site, and then he was like, wow, this is a very great project. How much did you say it is again? I said 120 million naira, sir. He said, oh, honestly, in his words, honestly, I was thinking it was 12 million. I just started a tech job. Can you imagine that? I said shivering. I was like, 12 million. I said 120 million. It was clearly written. Only for him to tell me he thought it was 12 million naira and he was going to plead for us to give him time to pay off.
Bad market.
Bad market. Now, this is it. This is the mistake people make. They didn't take into cognizance the purpose why he wants to even buy. His budget. That's why a lot of persons now will ask you, okay, if you come with a brief, they'll tell you, what is this client's budget? Okay, why does he want to buy this thing? Which is the purpose? Then what location? So I did not do all of those things. Yeah. Now, when you're profiling clients, these are the things that you need to put into consideration. Yes.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, there's a market, for everything, product, services, or whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
There are people that are ideal for you, and there are people that would not even mind stringing you along like a bad relationship. They will not mind stringing you along. They will even tell you that they don't have the budget for that thing that you are selling.
And it's very painful.
Yes, and it's very painful. And if you're not careful, it just, brings down your entire spirit, your zeal.
There's no motivation.
If you are not strong enough, you can just say, this path is not for me, and then you just give up.
True.
So for the purpose of those that are listening, and they want to understand in that, so I won't be, I know some people are hearing the word profiling for the first time.
Yes.
So what does profiling mean, and why is it important?
Okay, so thank you very much, Emem. Client profiling is the process of gathering detailed information of your client. Do you understand? The process of gathering detailed information of your client to understand who they are, where they are, what they need. Do you understand now? So if you're able to gather all this information, the purpose of gathering this information is to understand who they are, first of all, where they are, who and what they need. So if you don't get that, you'll not be able to really sell. to this particular person, whoever it is.
Okay. So I believe that in order to profile accurately, profiling is not even limited to real estate business. It cuts across every business. For example, if I'm a hair seller, I get into a space and there are a lot of ladies. The first thing I'll do is to look at the ladies around and see the one that can buy the kind of hairs that I sell. And then the next thing is for me to, walk up to them and, try to exchange contact with them. So now I want to ask, what are the 3 things? Are they things that, are they qualities that you would see in a person that makes you know that this person is qualified
to buy that particular product?
Whatever it is that you are trying to market to that person, what you're trying to sell to that person.
In fact, I must say that this question you just asked is an amazing question. And yes, so now this is it. One thing people fail to understand about client profiling is the fact that they think, because somebody's wearing one particular thing on his or her body, that qualifies that particular person to be able to buy that product or whatever it is that you're selling. Now, there are people, I need to let you understand now that even in this Abuja here that we are, there are people who borrow car just to impress.
Packaging.
Thank you. Do you get? There are people who borrow cars. Like my boss would say, he said, now the real big boys in town these days don't even wear, you hardly even know them. If you are not, you have to be very smart to be able to know that this person really, you hope that this person really has it. Now, he will say, maybe by just the simple wristwatch that he's wearing, maybe just one small tiny gold chain he's wearing, or a palm. There are palm sandals now that goes for even ₦1 million. And you see this person wearing short knicker. Unlike those ones that want to go to club and then go and borrow their friend's car, and then you now think as a marketer, because this person is carrying a very big car, the person is capable of buying that property. There are certain things you need to look out for. Now, like I said, before we talk about those 3 things, let me let you know there are categories for client profiling. You need to understand their demography. You need to also understand their psychography. When you talk about psychography, their lifestyle, behavioral data. Do you understand? Demography, you're talking about age. Psychography, you're talking about lifestyle. Behavioral data, you're talking about, brand loyalty, like that. These are the things that you need to put into cognizance. Then, before you can now start talking about budgeting. If you understand demography, age, gender, location, okay, you are selling something worth of 120 million naira. Where should I go to? Who should I talk to? So these things gives you a clue. Saves you your time, saves you your energy, it even saves you your money. Do you understand? So when you talk about those 3 things, we're looking at budget, your budget capacity. We're looking at the location, preferred location. Do you understand also? And then what else again? Budget, preferred location, and even purpose. Thank you. And even purpose. So these 3 things are very crucial. So if somebody is coming to you with a brief, I want this thing. The first question I should ask the person is, sir, ma, what is your budget? 2.
Very important.
Very important. Then secondly, for what purpose are you looking to buy? Now we know. I know you. I don't know if you've heard of land banking. There's land flipping. Is the person coming to land bank? Is the person coming to if it's a building, completed building? Is the person coming to buy to own? Yes, or buying to rent? Or want to do a service apartment, what purpose? Then you now know how much, where to place this particular person. Then the preferred location. One thing people don't also know, and the mistake people make, realtors make these days is how they are unable to identify locations and prices. Do you understand? Prices varies based on location. If you're selling something worth of, you're selling a 500 square meters now, somewhere around Central Business District, for about 900 million, close to ₦1 billion. You don't expect to sell that 500 square meter in Kuji for 900 billion. So now, how do you understand what clients need what? So it's funny how some persons will come with 5 million naira budget and they want to own a land in Asokoro. And then as a professional realtor, you now identify this kind of person and you still go ahead. You want to pray and believe that this person will buy. That's budget. There's nothing you can do about it. 5 million is 5 million. If I come with 5 million naira, you give me property worth of 5 million naira.
So from what I've even learned from this conversation now, from what I've learned, it's very important to ask key questions.
Right.
Ask important questions, pay attention to their body language, because only then will you be able to tell. Can you tell what they want? You know, because I feel like some people are just out there, you know, window shopping for properties.
Yeah.
Maybe they, you know, declared, you know, they declared that they are going to be a house owner this year, and by faith you cut the rem and then you start to window shop.
Let me even cut you short a little. I heard a story of, well, I don't know, for those who believe in faith and the rest, I heard a story of somebody who went to a car stand. Do you understand? Went to a car stand and said, no, he was pointing at the best cars, one of the best cars there, and said, he now called the person selling and said, how much is this car? Yeah, how much? He came without nothing. He just carried one empty briefcase. Came to the car stand and then was pricing the car without nothing. You get? So I don't know. In that kind of situation, as a marketer, you need to understand also that, okay, well, that's because that's a car stand. That's a different industry. I mean, business entirely. But when it comes to real estate or selling of property, before the person even comes to you, in fact, you should have even closed. You should be 80% gone in closing that deal before even meeting the person. The only reason why that client would come for site inspection and not pay is because probably you've either have not done your good profiling very well, and two, maybe that product you're selling to that client is not good enough, or what you've told the person is different from what the person is saying.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Just to be sure.
Just to be sure, yeah.
So, you know, people, have you ever had a situation where accurate profiling saved you from selling or saved you from going after the wrong person? Like, you just knew, you had a conversation with the person, you just knew that this person was not my ideal customer.
Exactly. And that brings me to what I was trying to explain just a few seconds ago about you understanding your clients. Now, if you understand your client, it saves you time, energy, and even your money, like I said.
Yeah.
Now, in my own case, I had a property that worth 20 million naira at a Sokoro extension. You understand? And then while I was trying to close in on this person on social media, I realized that this person was not my ideal customer because of what the person was willing to even pay as at that time. So it was easy for me to let go. Do you understand?
Yes.
It was easy for me to let go because why should I? Okay, because after understanding that this person cannot afford that particular location, I just didn't push it anymore. I was ready to help the person with the budget, what budget the person had at that time.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it was easy for me to just keep that person aside. But one thing I also want realtors to understand is there is no bad contact. Yes, there is no bad contact.
So if you could design your ideal prospects in your mind, like your dream prospects, in order of personality, mindset, and behavior, what would they look like?
Well, I can just say that in one word. Somebody who knows exactly what he wants. Then leave the other ones for me to handle.
Yeah, for me, I'll say my ideal prospect would be someone who has a budget, who knows his budget.
Exactly.
It's full chest. And someone who knows what he wants. Also, someone that is not going to ghost me after 5 meetings.
After 5 meetings. Almost closing deal.
Yeah, so that
and then the person is not telling you, okay.
At the end of the day.
Yes.
So, yes.
True.
So, you know, people think that when you're trying to profile people, you're trying to judge them. I really don't think so. It's just about knowing the people that are for you.
Now, that's another thing. Client prospecting is not judgmental. It's not you being judgmental. You're not judging anybody. It's just about relating the right buyer to the right product.
Yeah.
That's just it. Relating the right buyer to the right product. And how do you do that? It's by profiling. There's nothing personal. If you don't have it, you don't have it. There's nothing.
Yes, if you don't have it, you don't have it.
Yes.
If you don't have it, you don't have it. So in my experience, I feel like the faster you qualify people, the better, like the more space you make, for real stuff. So I really love today's topic because it cuts across different areas of life, even in relationships, any business at all, anything you are doing. Understand that profiling is very key. We've come to the end of today's episode. Thank you, Mr. Marshall. I had a swell time having this conversation with you.
Thank you so much, Miss Emem.
I love today's conversation because profiling isn't only for sales. It applies to every area of life, even in relationship, because to be honest, the wrong people can waste your time, and I'm sure nobody wants to be put in a place where they do not know where they stand. So the earlier you ask the right questions, the earlier you are able to pick those that are for you, the more time you are going to save. So to everyone listening, remember, not everyone that walks through the door is your ideal client. Thank you, Mr. Marshall and Onoja.
Thank you, Miss Emem.
So if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, share to everyone that needs to see this, and see you next week in our next episode.